Hey everybody, welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Choosing Beggar Reddit video. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe and click on notifications so you don't miss out on the fun. In our first story, a Choosing Beggar gets a free website, but when it comes time to pay our OP back with wedding photos, just wants to price gouge. Let's jump right in. I've been a web designer since the late 90s, and for a while I used to do sites for friends. One of the friends was a musician, and I did a website for him that he really liked. The musician and I had a common friend, the Choosing Beggar, and she also really liked the way the musician's site looked. She was more his friend than mine, so I'd say she was more of an acquaintance to me. We were all part of a larger group of friends who used to do a monthly meetup for dinner, and the Choosing Beggar would always forget her purse or wallet and ask my friend if he could cover her this time, meaning that he would pay for her. The Choosing Beggar started getting into photography, and while she wanted a website of her own, she had no money to have one built, or so she claimed. So, being a friend of a friend, I offered to help her out and did a site for her for free to showcase some of her work, including a blog and photo gallery that I'd normally charge around $1,000 for. This was before the days of things like WordPress, so it did take quite a bit of work. I created a logo for her and put together the gallery and blog packages so that the whole thing looked seamless and not like a bunch of cobbled together plugins. I used space on the server that I had other sites hosted on, so there was no out-of-pocket cost to me, only my time, but it was a lot of time. Many of her pics were physical copies, so they had to be scanned in before uploading, and that took a lot of time. After the site went up, she was really appreciative. While she had no money, she told me, "If you ever get married, you've got yourself a wedding photographer. You helped me out, so I'll help you." Since I had no plans at the time to get married, I sort of forgot about it. Fast forward 5 years, and I've met a girl from Canada. Eventually, we decide to get married, and we decide to have the wedding in upstate New York. I have family there, and it's halfway between where I live and Toronto, where my wife's family was, so it would be around equal driving for everyone. At some point, the Choosing Beggar learns of the wedding and reminds me that I have a wedding photographer, her. I also find out from our mutual friend that she expected to be invited to the wedding anyway, so it, in her words, just made sense that she'd be doing the wedding photos since she'd already be there. As we make plans, I finally send her an email. She already knew when and where the wedding was, but I sent her some additional details. Now, I would never expect a free wedding photographer, but, well, I figured there might be some sort of a deal. We didn't want anything extravagant, just some pics during the wedding and reception. Around a week goes by with no reply. Finally, an email from her pops up. This was her quote. She wanted $250 per hour, with a minimum of 4 hours. This was $100 per hour higher than the rate listed on her website. Airfare for her and her husband because she needed him to carry her equipment. Reimbursement for a rental car from and back to the airport. Hotel expenses for her and her husband, meal reimbursement for her and her husband for the entire weekend trip, reimbursement for a day's pay because she would be too tired to work on Monday, 11 a.m. wedding on Sunday. What a bargain! I asked her about the rate being higher. She said that it was because the job required travel, which was odd because she was asking for all sorts of travel expenses too. I also wondered why she would be flying when the wedding was a 4-hour drive. If you total up driving to the airport from her house, 90 minutes, I looked it up, then from the closest airport to the wedding, another 50 minutes, plus the flight time, it would actually take longer to fly. But by then I already knew we weren't hiring her. Oh, and I forgot to add, she'd actually never shot a wedding before. She wanted to do mine so she'd be able to add a wedding to her portfolio and get more of that type of work. Like I said, I never expected a free photographer, but, well, her quote was a little on the high side, especially since we were getting a deal from a friend I'd helped out. I mean, was she expecting me to pay for her trip to the wedding had I not asked her to take pics? I never really got any of that. In the end, we hired a professional, had great pics, and paid less than half of what she was asking. Story number 2 shows us a choosing beggar who thinks that if you are wealthy, then obviously you have to deliver. Just a few days ago, my family and I went over to my older brother's house. His outdoor pool was all set up for a party, and both of his dogs were finally old enough to join in on the swimming fun. Some of the neighbors were also there, as well as my grandma and uncle who live close by. Everyone was just talking and having an all-around good time, and my brother started on about his experiences getting rid of some of his old furniture. He got all new furniture when he redid a lot of his house, so he was giving away all the old furniture that didn't fit in anymore for free, except for a few choice items that would be a pretty big loss to just give away. He had a few items being picked up the following day that were still in his garage that was open so people could come and get their stuff and go easily. He posted ads for these items on Craigslist, Facebook, etc. He was getting rid of the items really fast, which was no surprise as they were pretty new and barely used. The items included some couches, chairs, tables, small mattresses, the accompanying mattress frames. He specifically talked about a man who wanted this sofa. I don't really know if it's technically a sofa as it only sits one person and as it has an accompanying ottoman that elongates it to the length of a twin-sized bed. The conversation goes like this. "Hello, is this Big Brother? My name is Choosing Beggar. Do you still have the sofa with the ottoman?" "Hello, Choosing Beggar, and yes, we still have that item. You are the first one to ask about it, so it's all yours. Which of the times on the ad fits your schedule? When are you going to come pick it up? The address is here." "I was actually wondering if you could drop it off at this time on this date." "Sorry, but no. I specifically said in the ad that I will not drop off any items. Also, I won't help load items or dismantle items. I noticed that your date is a week and a half from today. That won't work, as I want this stuff gone in the next 3 days." "Come on, dude. I really like the sofa, and I can't afford any furniture at the moment. I don't even have a car capable of transporting it." "No, you are 30 minutes away and I'm golfing that day." "Don't be a butthole. I looked up your address and you live in a very nice house. The gas money to my house is nothing to you." "It's not the gas money, it's the time I waste driving and loading and unloading, not to mention I would have to put off golfing with my friends." "How about if I take the set of chairs too? It would be worth your time then." "No, stop texting me, you're wasting my time." "Dude, come on! Flip you, whatever." A few hours later. "Fine, I'll be at your house at this date to pick up the sofa." "No, you are not welcome to come to my property. Someone else has already claimed the sofa. If you show up, I will call the police." My brother blocked him after that. Back to the present. So after a few hours of pool time, we all go inside for drinks and food. My little sister and some of the younger neighbor kids are still playing in the pool. After about 30 to 40 minutes, we notice a truck pulling into the driveway. We all sit around and wonder who it is because everyone invited is accounted for. I can see the gears turning in my brother's head. Then he mutters something that rhymes with "no ducking way." There is a knock on the door and I follow my brother as he goes to answer it. And standing there in all their choosing beggar glory is Choosing Beggar. The guy was short, definitely early 20s, and looked like they had a drug problem. I noticed they had a truck parked by the garage that was open with the items sitting in there for easy movement. So they lied about having a way to move the sofa. Before Choosing Beggar even spoke, my brother barked out, "Get off my property before I call the police." Then he slammed the door in his face. We sit back down and my brother is very heated. A realization hits him and he goes outside to make sure the choosing beggar leaves. He goes out to the garage to see this guy trying to load stuff into his truck, including an item that someone bought. My brother goes off the deep end and starts shouting and berating this guy non-stop. The choosing beggar eventually leaves and my brother is still so heated that he retires to his room while his girlfriend keeps the party going until everyone starts heading home. I talked to him today and he told me that he talked to the cops that usually patrol his neighborhood. He is friends with both of the officers. When he told them about what happened, they said that they would keep an eye out for the choosing beggar's truck. This is John from Slash Bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to see more of them, then please hit that subscribe button. We'd love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and we will see you in the next one.